everything else apart, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the drag link with the MetalCloak unit as well. Want to set the initial length of this to be similar to the factory unit. We're obviously quite a bit longer right now, so we're going to need to shorten it up. I tend to start by making all short and then extend.
Okay, and counting the number of revolutions.
Yeah, all I did originally was just take these out of the box and spin them in so they would stay attached.
Yeah. Here, going out. Here. Yeah, it's threaded backwards. It's pretty freaking close.
And that is all the way in. Now.
No, he's nowhere near close. Oh, yeah. He's way short.
So, okay.
Your angles are different.
That's fine.
It's going to be more like that. Okay, I'll buy that.
That's what I was talking about.
Okay, so
Center line.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Does that look close?
Yeah.
I guess a tape measure would be the right answer here.
No, that does not look
a little more scientifically.
It doesn't look anywhere near close.
Just be consistent with where you measure from.
Well, I'd measure to the base of the thing, because the ball joint.
Okay, I read 41 and 1/8.
I wouldn't measure on the shaft of the ball joint because those move.
So what?
I would actually flip it over and measure to the bottom of the ball joint.
So you're wanting the center cap here.
Center of the center cap.
Well, if you go from the end, I'll measure to the
Well,
end.
but the
They're not the same
outside
size.
diameter.
Oh.
So
Well,
I'd go
then
center.
Center to center.
Well, that's
41-ish.
40, yeah, well, 41 and 1/8.
Okay. And now we've got zerks on these that are on the back side. All we got to do is be able to lift.
Okay, you're at
40.
40 and 1/8, so an inch.
Okay.
And it's probably 16 threads per
2,
inch.
3, 4, 5,
I'd go
6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Yep. And then 8 on the other end.
Backwards.
Backwards.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay. That is certainly close enough to get us under the vehicle.
Yeah. Okay, can we come out? Oh, too far. Come back in. A little more. There we go. Okay.
So now torquing into the ball joints. MetalCloak doesn't specify the torque, so we looked it up. Chrysler spec. At the knuckle, it's 63 for the tie rod, and 77 at the pitman arm.
Right. So we're moving on to the tie rod. One of the first things we do is we get rid of this stock string stabilizer bracket.
Okay. And then the hardware is to be saved.
It's going to go back in the holes so that we know where they are.
So this is a center axle disconnect skid plate. Replaces the factory unit here. Just provides a little bit beefier protection for the
For the axle.
For the axle skid. While we're here, we're basically touching the same stuff. We'll go ahead and put this in. So comparing the factory CAD skid to the MetalCloak, just a much bigger piece in terms of what it covers, and obviously much thicker metal. Will take a much more of a pounding before it gets bent up. Here.
Well, the M looks pretty.
What he could have done is just spray painted that little section blue on the axle so that it showed through blue through the cutout.
Yeah, but it's not a 4xe. Yeah.
I was thinking just to match the body color, that's all.
Oh, yeah, that works. No, because then he would go overboard and paint the whole damn axle blue.
No. Okay, so the reason MetalCloak includes the stabilizer relocation kit with this is because this bracket is physically incompatible with the Mopar bracket that comes here. So they give you both as part of the same kit. And in my case, they also include that with their drag link and tie rod kit. Okay. So now back to our
Regularly
scheduled
install
track bar installation. Center to center. I need to somehow get my hand out of the middle of this. That is roughly my center.
And I'm reading 60 3/4.
Okay. So then we'll do the same thing here, although it would help to get them both pointed in the same direction. From the outside on my Zerk.
Outside,
Yeah.
I read 62 even. 60 and less than a 16. Yeah.
So we
You go
want
out
to be
to 3/4
of an inch.
Yep. Okay.
So let's go out
3 each.
3 each. Okay.
One,
1, 2, 3.
3. And we're at the center of the Tootsie Roll bar. No, you gotta hear a crunch first. Nope, you had a little less than a half, 60 and a half. Okay, so do that once more.
1, 2, 3.
All right, 60 and 7/8. You went a little bit too far.
Okay. Well, we can adjust that on the vehicle because that's a partial turn.
Yep.
So now installing the steering stabilizer, we have already installed the relocation bracket, which at this point is what they're asking us to do, which involves pulling this bolt out, associating the bracket, drilling the hole, putting the bolt in. Now we proceed to install the stabilizer and attach the clamp.
And we're just going to clamp it on loosely, just to get it on the bar. We'll have to adjust it and measure and make sure that it's correct.
Now, I tend to orient my hardware this direction so that if a nut falls off,
Yeah.
the bolt stays in the hole.
Right.
Any reason why you're using 2 washers?
Because I've got extra washers and it helps suck up the extra length of the bolt.
That doesn't want to fit all together like that.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Do we need to reverse the shock?
Yeah, that might work.
Yes, actually.
And so we discovered after turning side to side that the putting the body of the shock on that side, it doesn't clear as well, and this to me looks a whole lot nicer.
Let's put some Loctite on that.
Well, I just want fitment.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure, because yeah, we got to come through and add Loctite to everything. But I like the way this lines up.
That looks where we did not bottom out the shock.
Nope.
And no contact with that on anything.
And in fact, the clearance gets better as we turn.
Yeah,
Yep. So I think that is the correct orientation
for this.
for all of those pieces. And I think this is our best for tightening it down.
Yeah.
Okay, from the factory, Jeep routes your brake cables up and over this cross member, which means when you start lowering the suspension, your brake cables get caught and they bind. So what we need to do is to reroute them underneath the cross member to bring this up. There is a bracket right here that needs to be removed. And just take it out, toss it in the trash can, you don't need it anymore, and then reroute the brake cables. The trick to this is to pull the brake cable out as far as possible and lock it off, which then allows you to disconnect the cable from the brake. Like so. And then you get a hold of this handy dandy brake release tool. And this just slides over the end of the cable, releases the cable from the vehicle, and then reroute. Do not push on this cable. It'll cause it to disconnect at the other end. And then you get to go take your console apart. Yep. Oh, there it is. And done. So, next step is to take the rear shock off to get access to the upper bolt. It's easiest to take this panel out. Just an 8mm nut using your favorite tool for removal of a small screw that is basically attached to plastic. Taking the shock out, I'm going to take the bottom out first. There is a possibility this will, or a probability this is going to want to drop. So we want to be very careful with this coming down. Ideally a little bit more support. Wobble, wobble. It's over there.
Over on the table. For the cart.
actually, do we want to put this back in the sway bar end link? Because having it dangling around, and in the meantime while we order new end links.
Yeah. Everybody stand clear. This could shoot.
Well, that was melodramatic. Somebody tell me what's going on here.
Just dropping the axle.
Getting clearance for this bolt.
And yeah, so we get clearance for the bolt, but it's also to take all the load off the springs so that we can get the springs out.
And we encountered this problem on another vehicle, didn't we, Roy?
Yeah, it's another diesel with the same skid plate.
Yeah, coils next.
And the coils, we're down far enough. They just come right out. Watch your melon. Spring isolators.
Yeah.
Stick it through. Since we're using all new hardware, we're going to keep the original
Old
bolts
with
with
this.
the old.
Yep.
The care which
These.
I would think that this would be. I would put that frame side.
I believe that goes frame side. Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna have to come back a little bit.
Yep. Which way did that bolt come out?
Well, it's not. Well, it could fit this way if we really wanted
it
to.
does originate from this side. This needs to come backwards
Okay.
and yeah, backwards and backwards. Okay. Replace the lower control arms. Now we're going to swap out the uppers.
And this one's got a flag nut.
And we will reuse the flag nut.
And this one also has a flag nut on it.
Cut.
Getting a flag nut to line up sometimes is not very easy. But actually,
This is the one that we've got visibility.
we got visibility on this side, and so there's a big hole on the frame that I'm sticking my finger through to hold it in place. On the other side is the gas tank. Now, but that's the diesel. The gas tank is on the driver's side. On the
Yeah.
gas engine ones, the gas tank will be on the way on this side, but you'll have the hole on the other side. So
Cut.
So one's easy, one's hard.
yeah, one
Right.
will be easy, one's hard. Yeah. And where'd the other flag nut go?
I gave it.
I've got it.
You got it? Okay.
No worries.
So that goes here on the inside.
Yep. And
That looks...
lift the pinion just a little bit if you can.
Oh,
Bingo.
you're kidding me.
That was too easy.
That was... The fact that I can lift that myself, that distance, yeah, that was too easy.
All right, so I've got... So we've got this spring isolator that's keyed for the spring to sit correctly. And it's got a little nub on here that puts it in a specific orientation. And your shadow here. Here, take that. And so you get it set up. Okay. And then the coil is at this orientation.
At about 11 o'clock.
10 or 11, yeah. And so you come in, and the key is it wants to fall out
Just like that.
just like that. So
you gotta push
here,
up.
hold the light.
Got it?
Okay, and so I'm gonna hold it up like that.
And from underneath, I can see the orientation of the
Here's the pry bar.
thing, and then
And we're in.
we're in.
Okay.
And yes, we're in the right place.
And lift it up to get the spring under tension so it doesn't move.
Not quite.
Yeah, that's 7/8 to the center. Little more than 7/8. But that would
Well,
be
so to the bottom edge of the bolt here
the bottom edge.
is 3/8.
Yeah.
So hold that up.
Now, which way was the bolt in here? I think we want the, well, yeah, we had
This one went in this way.
yes, and we had to put that one in first.
Okay.
Because this one we don't have access to when we come up. We need to raise the axle so that this, but when we raise it, that one we potentially lose access to. So
Right. A little more.
give it a yank.
Okay.
A yank, not a push.
Well, same difference. You got me there.
We're no longer on the grate.
Among other things, yep.
Yeah.
I pushed it out of the way.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, stop.
Yeah, we're
We're in.
Okay. And tightening it, but yeah, I've got it started. Cool.
Sharpen knife.
Okay.
And
up just a hair. So that's good.
yeah.
That means we're actually sitting here below full bump, which will keep the springs out of my fuel tank.
Yeah. Okay.
Doink. Doink.
All right, we gotta come down a little bit on this side. Gotta come down a little bit on this side.
No, you gotta come up.
Oh, okay, let me rephrase it. Down on the shock.
Okay. The bump stops provided for the rear have this sort of matrix of holes where you use one set of holes for passenger, one set of holes for driver. They have an A and a B side. A side, B side. B side goes down, and
On
then
the first one.
and then we utilize the inner side set of holes on the passenger side of the vehicle. 1/2" wrench. And just snug them down. They are plastic.
They are locking nuts, so
They don't need to be really tight, and as they go in, you can actually see that it does deform the plastic just a little bit. Okay.
I'd say just a hair more. So I'm feeling with my finger just to make sure we get the threads all the way through the lock nut. Gives a much more secure connection, and that's probably good. So as we stack these, we use the supplied wood screws that go in and stagger the blocks. Doesn't look 100% right, but the B side up for the second one. And it's just wood screws into the rubber to hold them in place. The kit comes with 8 blocks total, and we're going to start with using 4 of them, kind of right in the middle. And if we need to add or remove, we will go ahead and do that. But yeah, so the next block would be flipped over, and you can see these small holes is where the screws would come in.
No, it's not. Now, Roy,
Yeah.
you're going to take that back off because we're going to have to wait until after we torque the control arm.
Oh, yes. Good point. They're in the way of the control arm bolt.
Oh. Well, fine.